What's up, YouTube friends and family? It's your boy, the Badwolf. Alright, got some more information. So today is going to be a filming day. Alright, so let's start off with saying thank you to all the people who've bought in the packages. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the positive support out there. Just all of it, guys. I appreciate it. I wouldn't continue to do this if it wasn't for you. I've had so many consultations. I just have not been able to keep up with the comments and questions on the YouTube comment section. So like I said before, those are off, but they will be back on soon. Um, a lot of people have even supported the fact that they're off just because they don't like to see the trolls on there as well. But unfortunately, they're part of life as well. But yeah, we've gotten more people involved. More people have joined the channel, which is good. I've even had like federal officers contact me. I've had police officers buy the files and confidentially asking me for information about this and validation. So yeah, it's growing, which only helps the movement. I know a lot of people out there think that I'm like anti-cop. I'm not. I'm totally not. I've got cops in my family. A lot of them are really nice people. It's just the bad apples out there. But there's also bad apples in government. There's bad apples who are just people. So whatever. So anyway, thank you guys all for the support. This is just it's an awakening, and it seems like now is the time that people are more susceptible to listening to this kind of information. So anyway, before we get started, I guess down below is where all the files are, all the information, how to get a hold of me, and yeah, just do your own research. Oh, one thing before I get going. So yeah, I had a person actually go, well, how do I know you're legit? Like, how am I supposed to show you legit? Like, I'm a real person. I use my real name. I don't hide anything, So it's like, I mean, I'm not on the Better Business Bureau. Well, actually, I am. I forgot I am on there. But anyway, like, look, all this stuff, most of it you can do yourself. I'm putting you guys on the path, and so like, I mean, how can I could turn around? How I know you're a legit person? How do I know you're not like some government official trying to, scam me or play a game or something? You know what I mean? Like, look, if you want the information, you get the information, you do it yourself, and then you'll know you're legit and the information is legit. I provide all the information here, so you can easily go and look it up. I show you 99% of it, where it is, how to put it together. All right, so if you want help, I'll help you. But if you want to do it on your own, that's fine too. But don't sit there and question me if I'm legit. Like I'm a legit person. Now, are there some people out there who are scammers? Yeah, there are tons of people out there who are scammers. All right, but you can see in the comments, people have been happy with the services I provide. Like I said, I think we've only had one or two people who've ever been denied, and they're still working on the process because not everybody's going to get it. But you're also talking about like hundreds, if not a couple thousand people who have already done this process and have gotten either 4 or 5 stars. All right. So that being said, this particular video is about the new affidavit. Okay. So what is it? Like I know other people have been like, bought in the Declaration of Sovereignty or Declaration of Status, Affidavit of Status. Um, so where we are now in the process, because like I said, I keep everything legit for you guys, is that if you just Google the word like Affidavit of Status, Declaration of Truth, um, 9 times out of 10 you're going to find the free versions. Okay, so a lot of people have been uploading their own, and so now those are free. I do sell the sample ones that I have for like $25, but like I said, that's only if you really want it. Um, and long story short, if you can get it free on Google, just go ahead and get it free. Because the ones you download might be the same sample ones I have. But the new one that I'm putting together is different from those samples and different from the samples that I have now or that I've sold. This new one that I've put together is going to be down below in the description box for this video and this video forward. It's going to be called like Affidavit of US Nationality, the master version. Okay. What's in it? Why is it different? What does it cost? Okay, well, it costs $50, same as the other ones. I've, obviously reduced the price of the other ones because those are going to be outdated compared to the one I'm offering now. So the new one came about because we've had so many improvements with this process of declaring yourself. So for instance, yes, it's still going to declare yourself as a U.S. national. It's going to have the codes, you know, the laws, the statutes, all those things that, if you will, support being a U.S. national, all the definitions of that. It's going to have the glossary terms of a good chunk of the words. But the main things that it's going to add, and if you want, you can add them to yours as well, is going to be things like saying no to viruses, okay, or to vaccines. So there's going to be a blurb about that in there. Now, it's not going to have the full written out declaration because that's in the main file, but this is just a little like something in your declaration for your U.S. nationality. It's kind of like, not only am I a U.S. citizen, but by the way, I'm also saying no to vaccines, unless I agree to them for me and my child. So there's going to be a section for that in there. So this is going to be like the one-stop shop, the kit and caboodle of all the things that you just kind of want to get out to all the various heads of state. What else is going to be in there? There's going to be a section for putting your vehicle information in there. Now, you don't have to update them when you're traveling on what you're doing, technically. But according to some of the, if you will, statutes and local laws that I've been reading, they do ask strongly that if you're going to be traveling in their state, that you at least let your local county recorder know, okay? Maybe even like the chief of police, send that guy or her a letter. Now, will they add that to their database and say, this person's a U.S. national and they're traveling? I don't know. Will they ignore the information? Probably. Will they take the information and update your current information? Don't know. But at least this way you're putting it out in the public. And I do know that by law that once you put it out in public, unless they refute those things word for word or tit for tat, it becomes fact. It becomes a matter of your law, okay, your statement, your decree. And so they can't say that they didn't know that it was out there. And I know some people like the whole anonymity of being able to say, well, they don't have my plate and this and that and blah, blah, blah. But big deal. I mean, yeah, long story short, as long as you're not doing anything bogus in the first place, who cares if they have that information? Who cares if they have your private plate? All right? There's nothing wrong with letting them know who you are and where you live. I mean, if you ain't doing nothing bogus, it really shouldn't be a problem. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with the whole law side where there's guys out there, well, we need to know who you are. No, you don't. I'm private. You are working inside of a corporation, okay, for those people who call themselves U.S. citizens, because that's your jurisdiction. Those people belong to you. Their cars are titled that way. They're under your jurisdiction. People who are private as U.S. nationals don't have to do that. But is it a good thing? Does it help show a good sign of faith that, hey, look, I'm not up to anything. I'm taking part in my freedoms. Yes. Okay. So it'll have that information in there. It'll basically say some other stuff like, I'm reserving my rights to have and carry, a firearm because I'm back under the Constitution. My rights as a Constitution have been restored because I'm enacting that. Then there's going to be some parts where they're, hold on one second, where is it? You're going to basically let them know that you're re-entering the private sector. So not only are you U.S. national, but you're also re-entering the private sector, letting them know that you're basically off the books. You're going to let them know in here that you basically want, you're putting them on notice of that you want to let all the other agencies know. You're going to be letting them know that you're no longer under liability for, let's say, like your social security number, because they're going to assume that you're taking full liability. Well, in this, you're going to say that, hey, look, I'm not acting underneath that. Yes, I'm the agent of it, but I'm informing you that I know I have the right to not be fully liable for that. Okay, because you're acting as only the agent. Kind of like if you work for Nike and you're a Nike rep or whatever else, you don't have to go down with Nike if Nike does something just because you work there. All right, unless you're like the CEO or CFO, then you're on the hook for it. And then basically you're letting them know that you're going to be filing a re-entry back into the central banking system as a secured party creditor. You're going to be basically going completely private. Not well, let me say, not completely private, but you're reactivating that private side. Okay. Um, you're letting them know that such things like, hey, if a cop pulls me over while I'm in private, and everything is legit that you have done, okay, that if they try to hold you or detain you or do something, like they think that you're just a U.S. citizen, that that they're depriving you of your rights, and that's fraud. Okay, you're talking about some felony stuff that they're going to be trying to do to you as because they think you're a U.S. citizen. So this is going to let them know that, hey, you should update your people on my file or whatever else. So before you guys end up with a $500 or $500,000 lawsuit, or a $250,000 lawsuit, or $1 million lawsuit, make sure they know the difference between a U.S. citizen and a U.S. national or foreign national. Now, if you've watched my other videos, you know that I showed you how to download their manuals that are online, so that when you are engaging with them, that you can say, hey, I've looked at your manual. I know that this is what you can and can't do. You can even have that in your car or in your binder. And then also that this is going to have a declaration in there that, hey, I've been briefed on this. Make sure that your officers are properly trained. And if not, I know that I have the right to contact the commanding officer in this, who might know a little bit more of how to deal with the situation than you. Okay? Because detaining somebody longer than what's considered appropriate, which usually is about 20 or 30 minutes to check your ID, make sure, and actually in some places they can't even do that. So be kind of familiar with the laws in your area, but don't be, difficult. Show them, give them a chance to get to know who you are. Give them your card. And remember, most places you don't have to roll down the window. You don't really have to identify yourself, but you should. Allow them to ID yourself. You can let them see the card. You can put the card up to the window. You can roll the window down about an inch, slide it out, because you have the right to not incriminate yourself. Okay, but like I said, you have to familiarize yourself with your local laws, because not everything that applies here or in the next place is going to be the same for everybody. It's a little bit different, but nonetheless, you get the idea. So after that. All right, so there's going to be all those declarations in there, and there's going to be a couple more. You can, like as always, you can create your own. Be creative. Like I said, mine will be available as of this video. But here's the thing: where should you send your affidavits? I get this a lot. Where should you send your files? Okay, so you want to send them to your local county recorder. Okay. That office, you want to send it down there. Usually it's only like $20 or something like that to file it. File it down there. It puts it on public record. All right. Then you're going to want to send one to the Attorney General. Okay. You're going to want to send one to the Secretary of State, Department of State. And some people will even send it to the White House. That's fine as well. They're going to get that information. Any of those places that the chief of police, give them a chance to get that information. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, don't be scary. Don't be scared to send it, and don't feel like they don't want to know. Some of them know what's going on, and they want to have the opportunity to have that information so that they can update their officers or update their files, or refresh the officers before they go out. Hey, just so you know, there are people out there who are U.S. nationals. They are declared that by the Department of State, and they are not citizens.